Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm changing the upper control arm, the lower one, and the vent connectors here for the steering. As you can see, what I did right now, I already removed the wheel. I put the car on jack stands. What I'm doing right now, in order to take this end connector off, what I did was the same thing that I'm doing right here. It's a ball joint, so the ball joint is pressed into where the hole is, and then tied with that nut. Since it's been there for a really long time, it's really hard to get. So what I'm doing, the more I hit it in, it has a bigger gap over here, so it's spreading these two apart. So that's what I'm gonna do for this one. I already did it for the end connector, and I'm gonna have to do it for upper control arm. I could just pry it. As you can see, it's pretty much already out. And now that I got that done, what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna do the top control arm. This one, which I just did, which is a 14mm here connected to the knuckle. So I already took off the bolts for the top control arm here, and this is already spread apart. I need to disconnect the coilover, so I need to disconnect this bolt right here, and that's 17mm on both the bolt and the nut. I loosened up the wheel speed bracket here that connects to the upper control arm. I took off those two bolts, and now I'm pretty much just trying to put the brake cable is right here in its way, so I pretty much have to try to put that on top of the control arm, like over here, just like that. And I could just scoot this down and take the upper control arm just like that. I could pretty much move this around with my own fingers really easily, and it shouldn't be like that. Pretty much you have to wiggle this back the same way you took it out. I'm gonna move the knuckle here out of its way and grab this coilover, put this through the center here, pretty much just wiggle it up all the way over here, just like that. That's one. That's the other one right there. And then we could put this bracket back on for the wheel speed sensor. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna connect the upper control arm here to the knuckle so it can hold it, so I could take this bottom one off. So in order for you to know that it's pretty much aligned, the control arm has a little indent in the center, and that's where the bolt goes through, and it prevents them from moving up and down. The hole is lined up properly. So now I could just grab the bolt, put it in through here. Now I could tighten this up, and once it's holding onto the knuckle, I could do this bottom one. So in order to take this ball joint off from the knuckle, I already took off this bolt here for the coilover. Now I need to take this bolt off here, bolt and nut for the sway bar, and then we could just take those two out for the holding the control arm to the car, and then we should be good. That's a 14mm nut. So now the control arm is gonna fall down just like that. So now all I have to do is take these two bolts off. So that's one bolt off, and now this control arm is free. So out with the old and in with the new. So same thing as we got it out, same thing we're gonna put it in. So first thing, we're gonna put these two bolts on first. So we're gonna put the control arm in first, just like that. And now what we could do is we could put the knuckle back on here with the ball joints. And next we're gonna put the new nut on it, and then we just got a ratchet with the 21mm, and then we could just tighten up the ball joints. And after that, we're just gonna tighten up those bolts over here for the lower control arm that connects to the car. And then at the end, we could just connect the coil over here back on with the bolt and nut. And same thing for the sway bar here with the bolts and nuts. All right guys, so one of the things that I forgot to tell you guys is that before you tighten all the bolts up to the car, what you want to do first is raise up the knuckle here, lift this up to where the wheel is pretty much gonna sit at. And the reason you want to do this is because when you tighten up all the bolts, and imagine this was more like this to where it was hanging, and you tightened up all the bolts. Once you put the wheels in the car and you lower it down, arm is gonna go up like that, like how it is right now, straight. Your ball joint in the inside, you're gonna twist it. It's rotating in the inside where it's gonna pretty much wear out faster. So in order to prevent that, what I do is I put this jack on the lower control arm where it connects to the knuckle. I raise it up to a good height to where the wheel is usually at, and as you can see, this is pretty much straight. If you tighten up the bolts there, you should be good. All right, so I got all the control arms tightened up. So now we're gonna take this tie rod end, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna push it in. So in order to loosen these up, you need to grab 2 wrenches here and loosen up this nut. All right, so I already got this nut loose over here. I could take this end connector off. All right, so now that I got this nut back on the end connector, so pretty much what you wanna do, you see this hole here, you're going to have, the new one comes with a new clip. What this does, put it in there, and this is pretty much like locks the nut so it won't move. All right guys, so the next thing that we're changing here is this sway bar link that connects to the upper control arm into the sway bar, and I got this aftermarket adjustable one. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna loosen that nut there, and then loosen the nut on the other side right here. All right, so I already took the nut off from the inside over here, and this nut from over here where the coilover goes, and pretty much just slide this off out with the old. And this is where it gets kind of tricky with the new one. So we have this bracket here. So how this is gonna go, we're gonna put this bolt through here, and then this is gonna go like this. So first we're gonna put this bolt there. We have this spacer that goes there. Then it's gonna go the adjustable link, and then the other spacer is gonna go next, and then at the end this nut. I'm gonna put the bolt by itself first, all the way, just like that. So first thing, I'm gonna tighten this bolt. Once I tighten it, I'm gonna put the rest of the link right here. All right, now that I put this link on here with the spacers, now we could adjust however we want our length to go. So right now I have it all the way down low. I'm gonna leave it on like that because that's how the stock one was. And yeah, that's about it. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next time. Peace.